Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own modern mansion. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button as it will help me and the channel out very much, and it might also help me to replace the 2 quartz slabs that I just destroyed, and the glass. I should stop. Here is the amount of space required to make your house, a 25 by 35 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you do feel as though it will help you out. Here are all of the materials required to make the house. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well. Once you have all of those materials, enough space to make your build, and once you're ready, we can begin. The first step, for those of you that have made the grid, even if you haven't, we have to go through this process anyway, you want to come to the front left hand corner of your grid. We then want to count backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then right by 1. Place 2 smooth quartz on top of this block. This is the starting position. 1, 2. Place a grey concrete on top and extend right by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want you to, first of all, extend that 8th block towards you. We can then extend that down, but we also want to extend up by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend right by 2, 1, 2, and then extend right by 4 using white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place 7 grey concrete going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then extend down to the ground, just like this. Once we have created this magnificent shape right here, we want to continue building the outer frame of the house. To do this, we want to extend all the way back up to the 7th grey concrete block, and we want to extend it backwards by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We're then going to extend down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend inwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend down to the ground. And then take that same block that hit the ground and extend forwards until it is even and level with the area above. You kind of have what looks like a really weird looking number 2. We then want to continue, and we want to come back up to this top corner that we began extending down in all sorts of other various ways, and we want to extend it to the right across the build by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then going to extend inwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Towards us by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to extend to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. We then want to extend down to the ground, all the way down just like this. Perfect. We want to come back to this 8th block and we want to extend it down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We also want to then extend that right, and we want to join it back like this, so it just kind of looks like a Q. We then want to take this block that we extended right, and then we extended down, and we want to extend it inwards. We want to extend it inwards by 1, 2, 3, just like this, and then we want to extend left by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to join it down to the ground. We want to take the block that hit the ground and we want to go right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to extend inwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like this. And then that 6th block is ultimately going to extend all the way left, and it is going to join back into the frame of the build. The end result is that we have such a weird shape, it's pretty difficult to describe it, but it'll all make sense as we progress. So let's start making a little bit more sense of this shape though. For instance, I want you to take the Q area. So you guys remember the Q, it's quite easy to identify. You want to take the bottom of it, and you want to place 2 glass extending inwards. 1, 2. You then want to stick a grey concrete on the end, and I do believe that we're even going to extend it an additional row inwards, and then we're going to join it back and to the left using glass. So again, it's a very peculiar looking shape that wants to look exactly like this. So what do we want to do next? It's such a weird shape and a weird process, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm struggling myself to figure out what we should even do next. I know what we have to do, but it's the order in which we have to do it. It may be best for us to start by sealing up some areas. So you can see the front of the build over there and the back of the build here can be joined together using a straight horizontal row of grey concrete. So we're going to start by doing exactly that. We'll start by just placing horizontal rows of grey concrete extending from the front of the build to the back of the build. It doesn't mean that the house has to stay this way in any way, shape or form. It doesn't mean that you have to have certain areas of the house that are going to be blank. We will carve out windows and other details as we get to it. I think it'll be way easier to do that, to carve out the details rather than try and build them in. So that already helps a little bit in having that entire right side of the house filled in with grey concrete. Let's do the same with the left. And once again, I'm pretty sure that I'll keep repeating this over and over again because it is something that I like to try and, hammer home. You don't have to just completely leave things the way that I have them. If you want windows and such in particular places, feel free. If you want to extend certain areas, feel free. Customize the house as you see fit, but I would recommend doing that after we have actually built the base version of the house. Okay, next up. On the back of the house, we have a horizontal row of grey concrete that runs quite consistently throughout. We want to extend this row of horizontal grey concrete to the left like this. You'll notice that we have a vertical row of grey concrete pretty much in the centre of the build. Stick a glass pane on top of it and a grey concrete to the left. The grey concrete is then going to get extended upwards, and we can fill the empty space in here to the left in using grey concrete. Suddenly, this is starting to look a lot less intimidating. The area on the right here can also be filled in with glass. This is the upper part of the Q, or as I keep calling it, the Q, just because it kind of looks like a lowercase q. What we are next going to do is we are going to, focusing on the upper part of the build, we are going to create a wall underneath here. So this is on the upper left hand side of the house. We are going to create a wall using grey concrete like this. This, in my original version of the house, is actually a bathroom, so that's why it's quite sealed up. The area to the right here as well is also going to be sealed up. Follow the frame along the top and extend down and create a wall. The wall wants to be as low as the horizontal row of grey concrete that we have here with the glass on it. So it wants to come all the way down, it wants to drop, and it wants to be on the same level. We are going to have an interior floor. The interior floor is even and level with the bottom row of the grey concrete that we have been placing. It's extended from the glass pane area that we have here, and you can kind of see where the house naturally bows inward. This is going to be a wall. So first of all, extend the glass pane across the entire top of the grey concrete area here. This is going to be a small balcony. We're going to place grey concrete extending upwards just like this, joining and assimilating to the shape around it. And then here is where it's kind of up to you. So I'm going to have a small door here that's going to lead into the house. I'm going to have a little small window as well. And I don't want to place it just yet, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some quartz slab involved. But we'll do that later as it kind of extends throughout a lot of the house. Dropping down a level. So dropping down a level, we are going to make a couple of interior walls. So number one, the back wall here, I'm going to extend the grey concrete upwards, and I'm going to join it up to where the balcony area is, or just behind it. I'm going to do the same here to the right, just like this, and we kind of have like this nice cozy area. This is actually kind of like a barbecue chill out areas, kind of like not really a porch, but kind of like an indoor outdoor patio area. I can't really describe it, but I'm sure that you'll understand once we get to it. The glass window area here to the right actually wants to get extended upwards. It can get extended upwards by 2 rows if you like. You can place 2 rows of glass like this, and you can do the same with the glass that we have just here on the left also. You're going to want to fill the top of this in with something. Now, I'd recommend grey concrete. This little area with the window doesn't serve much functionality for my build, especially when we get towards the interior part. Like, this doesn't really serve much. It's really just a window, so you don't have to think about it too much. Now, the area underneath here, I've already told you what that is. That is a patio area, but we have to think about how we can get in and out of the patio area, and we can have, I mean, again, feel free to adjust placements and stuff, but we can have like a double door here, let's say. We can have a window here, and then but we don't really need any more windows, otherwise it may impact the interior. You see, the interior is actually a bit sparse in windows, a bit sparse for space in this particular corner, and I want to place some appliances and stuff later. So I'm going to make the floor, I guess that the interior floor for the lower level, I think I'm going to make it quartz to make it a bit bigger. We have our double oak doors. Easy peasy. We also have to install a ceiling. So the ceiling here, this is actually for a bathroom. So it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't even really matter what you use. Like, if you want to use oak planks, use oak planks. If you feel as though that your bathroom might be better served with quartz, feel free to use quartz. The only thing is, if you're looking for continuity, like as you look up here, you probably don't want to mix and match flooring materials too much. Going to place a little bit of glass here on the left, and then, I mean, it's up to you what you want to use for this area here, but I feel as though that, and I wasn't going to do this, but just to kind of like demonstrate, let's put the quartz away for just a second, just to demonstrate and maybe like help you visualize a little bit, like this is going to be a patio, as I mentioned. So if we dig this out and we place some terracotta in here, and once again, whatever you feel as though that your outdoor patio might be best like covered in, whether that's brick or terracotta or whatever, use that. It's completely up to you. Terracotta though I like, just because it's like bricks, but I like the texture a little bit more. Like, it's that same color, but it's just not, there's something about it, I like it a bit better. We're going to place a bit of glass here as well, and later on we will have a hot tub, we'll have a barbecue, we'll have a seating area, we'll have a television on the wall. My perfect place. So now that we've done that, I also want to install some windows along the top of the build. So we have the top of the build, which is this grey concrete area. We're only focusing on this left side. We're going to have a set of windows that run just underneath the top of the build like this. They are a horizontal set of windows. They're only one row. They look exactly like this. It looks pretty good. I really like how it turns out. You can even have it on the inside part here. It won't really mess with things at all. You may want to keep kind of like the aesthetic of like leaving the glass one row away from the corners. Or you might not. Again, it's up to you. It's up to you. So next thing, what are we going to be doing? We are going to further work on the front of the build a little bit. So we've actually done a good amount of the back of the build. The front of the build, not so much, not so much. So what do we want to do here on the front of the build? We should focus first of all on this white concrete area, because it's a very central part of the build. Quite literally, it's right in the middle. We're going to extend the white concrete upwards by one row, like this. We only have one row of white concrete. Now we have two. We only had one row of white concrete throughout the entire build. We're going to extend the top of this backwards by 3 rows. So like 1, 2, 3. And then that will cozily sit on top of the house. No more need for that. We're going to extend the outward row, the original row of white concrete, down towards the ground like this. So this is what I mean by it's central to the house. It is quite literally central. It's in the middle. Just about the middle. We then want to extend the entire area of white concrete 2 rows towards us. So this actually takes quite a bit of doing. We want to take the entire white concrete area, and I do mean the entire part, the entire giant rectangular shape that we have right in front of us. We want to extend this 2 rows towards us, and it's going to help create a sense of depth in the house. And it also breaks up the color because there's a lot, or was a lot, now there is a little bit less. Same amount actually, but with the white added, it seems like less. It really helps to dampen all of the grey concrete. The main entrance to the house is here, to the left of the white concrete area that we added. I'm going to add a couple of smooth quartz blocks where the door's going to be. I'm going to add a double door, and then I'm going to add, I believe, 2 rows of grey concrete above the double door. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, just like this. I'm going to extend a row of grey concrete up the right side here, and then I'm going to extend a row of glass up the left side here. So it just makes a relatively interesting shape. I'm going to set some foundation for the pool house because this entire left area, pretty much front to back almost, is a pool house. We're going to have a row of 4 glass underneath this row of grey concrete starting from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to stick a smooth quartz block on the end and then 2 more glass extending left. Every single one of those blocks has to be extended upwards. All the glass, all of the smooth quartz extended upwards, just like this. Left of the entrance area, where we have these double doors, we want to have 4 grey concretes. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the ground, dig 2 blocks and replace them with inwards facing smooth stairs. Place grey concrete on the end of those stairs, and then I want you to place a layer of glass pane that extends left and then inwards towards the corner of the house. So again, this is marking the foundation for a pool house. Underneath the glass, I'm going to recommend that you dig it out and you replace it using grey concrete, just like this. Here. Here. And we're going to place grey concrete underneath all of the glass pane, just like so. And then we have this entire area to contend with. I'm highly considering leaving... There we go, that's better. You were looking at the bottom of my feet. I'm highly considering leaving this until a little bit later because this is its own ordeal. This is its own little odyssey, this entire left side of the house. I feel as though that we should finish the right side of the house before really digging into that. And I do mean digging. There's a lot of digging involved. So the right hand side of the house here is a tad bit easier. I want you to extend the bottom left hand corner of the white concrete giant slab that we created earlier, and I want you to extend it forwards by 2 using oak planks. 1, 2, just like this. Extend the planks upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And extend to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like this. Extend down. I then want you to leave a gap of 2 in the ground and then place another row of oak planks here. I want you to place it, and I want it to be parallel and equal in size to the row just to the left of us. Extend the oak planks backwards so that it joins to the grey concrete that is just behind. And we are also going to extend the oak planks backwards on the left side in an equal measure to the area on the right. We're also going to fill the left side in using oak planks, and we're going to fill the top of this shape in using oak planks as well, just like so. Perfect. So now that we've done that, we should also add in the stairs and the entrance and all of that. So this area on the left, we have a big empty space. Divide it in the middle using oak planks. Fill in the remaining empty space using glass pane, just like this. I'm going to add a bit of glass pane in the top as well. There we go. We have ultimately filled the entire thing in. I'm going to place glass pane along the top edge of the oak plank area that I've just made. I'm going to stick a grey concrete on the end of the glass pane. And then I'm going to extend upwards. I'm also going to extend down. And we will be left with this area. On the right side, we want a row of grey concrete that extends from the bottom to the top. We are going to place, and I think that this is going to look alright, going to place a layer of glass along the top here. It might even have to be glass block. We may have to use glass block for this because we're going to be using doors. So glass block. Now the reason for this, and I might even continue on just to the right here, is because it kind of fits in with the glass pane that we have on the right. So there's a bit of continuity. It doesn't really matter though. You can just make it grey concrete if you wish. Now, I want to add a row of stairs. The stairs are going to start one row inwards in relation to the oak planks, and I'm going to place a set of stairs extending in and up just like this until eventually, here we go, until eventually they are even and level with the oak planks to the left and right. I'm going to extend a row of smooth quartz inwards, and then I'm going to place doors on top of the smooth quartz just like so. I'm going to place oak planks here as well. And then it's kind of your choice. I could never figure out whether I like double door or just open. I feel as though that it's too many doors in one area, so that I think that it looks better open. It's up to you. Now this is the part of the build I mentioned earlier where the smooth quartz slab gets involved. The smooth quartz slab gets placed in two places. Along the bottom, the glass block that we've placed, and then leaving half a row's gap above, just like so. And it's going to extend and wrap around the right side of the build, covering up half of the window that we've created. It's going to extend right, and it's going to extend in, and it's going to join. Where does it join again? Here, perfect. So it's going to extend in, and it's going to just join just up above the door that we have for the balcony area. So it's actually quite private. It's actually kind of like a nice cozy balcony. And then it's kind of up to you whether you want for your balcony. So like if we come back to the front of the build, right, we want to extend the other row of quartz slab across and back like this, and then it's kind of up to you whether you want to just say like join it all the way to the right and then that looks good, I think, or it's up to you whether you want to just extend the quartz slab backwards just a row like this, so that you've kind of got two different levels. I sort of like that because it's a bit of variety, but you might think it looks goofy. You know, it's up to you. I think it's a personal choice. So you might like that, you might like this, and you might even like just extending it all the way back. I mean, this looks cleaner, but the other one is a bit more interesting to look at, and you might think interesting, it kind of looks weird, but again, it's up to you, it's up to you. So now that we've done that, we have connected the quartz slab all the way from the front to the back. We have created a good amount. I mean, this is where all the living area is, right? This is the living space, the right side. The left side of the house is entirely leisure. So let's make the actual house, or it is part of the house, it's a pool house, so it is a house, it's even in the name. I think that we're going to make a small alteration to the pool house. So when we previously had the two rows of quartz and then the glass in between with the grey concrete on top, we're going to have something similar. We're going to place another row of grey concrete on top, we're going to destroy the area below, we're going to extend the smooth quartz upwards, each by one like this, and then we're going to extend the glass pane upwards as well. So we have 3 rows, grey concrete on top, very nice. So this is important because now we can make the left side of the pool house, the length of it, and we want to begin on the very first row of 2 quartz that we ever placed, the 2 smooth quartz, and now I guess it's a row of 3, but it was originally a row of 2. And we want to extend that backwards by 4 using glass pane. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a smooth quartz on the end and then 4 more pane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a smooth quartz on the end and then 4 more pane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a smooth quartz on the end. I want you to then destroy 2 blocks in the ground. Place smooth quartz inside. Stick oak doors on top. On the opposite side of the oak doors, we're going to place a smooth quartz, and then it works out to be 4 glass pane extending left, but just extend glass pane until you hit the wall. we want to extend every single smooth quartz block that we have placed upwards by 2, so it wants to be even and keel with the front of the build. And then we want to add 2 rows of glass pane on top as well. It may be a bit easier. As a matter of fact, I'll take the harder route, but it may have been a bit easier to just placing the glass. I'm trying to concentrate. It's so hard to talk and place the glass for me. It's one of the hardest things. To have placed the grey concrete on top of all of this, and then it would have made the final layer of glass easier to place. But we've done it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I want you to extend the row of grey concrete from the front of the build all the way back, and I want you to join it inwards to the middle part of the house. So we want to have this. We're going to place glass block above the doors like so, and boom, there we go. That's most of the pool house made. We're also going to place 2 layers of smooth quartz slab around the top of the pool house. So literally the first row is right around the top where the top of the grey concrete is. Leave half a row's gap, the second row is here. So we want to extend both of these around the top of this. We're going to extend it inwards. We're going to join it to the front of the build here, and then here, here, and here. Perfect. So the end result of that should look like this. It's looking pretty good. So that's what the front of the house looks like at the moment, and honestly it's pretty nice looking at the moment. I really do like that. The next part of this for us is a little bit tricky in that we've got a lot of digging to do, and this is where the pool house, it almost starts at the back here, like if you can imagine it. The pool house starts at the back, and it kind of extends forward, and it slowly slopes down into like a shallower part of the pool. So it starts quite deep, and then it slowly starts trickling down diagonally. The front part of the house, we want to dig out this square of grass, and I think it works out to be, we're going to start with a row of 4. So let's do, in front of the windows, we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then 4. It is at the very least 4 rows down that we have to dig. I don't know if it's more. It might end up being a bit more, because it gets a little bit weird when you get like to the depth of the pool and stuff. But this is the important part. We have to dig 4 rows down. And then, like I said, in a couple of places we may have to dig a little bit more, but we'll deal with that as we get to it. But we're just starting with the square, which doesn't mean to say that this is the only part that we have to dig out. It means to say that this is the first part that we are digging out. So let's get all of this dug, and then we can move on to the interior bit, because I am going to be making the pool in this, just because it's kind of like an integral part of the house. So, perfect. First of all, we're just going to connect these grey concrete parts together, just like this row on the right and this row on the left. Underneath the left side here is going to be a doorway. It's going to be an entrance. So I'm actually going to dig this out. I'm going to place some smooth quartz just at the bottom here, and I'm going to place a door. So just to give you some perspective, that's an entrance. I'm going to place a couple of rows of smooth quartz just here, extending from those doors all the way to the outer part here, and then I'm going to join them to the right like this in a right angle. So just like that. Perfect. I want to also extend the smooth quartz stairs that we have at the front of the build. I want to extend this down, and I want to join it in so you can get the right angle of this. This is going to be part of the pool, but the edge of the pool is a little bit different, so we have to have an edge to the pool. I'm going to have a couple of smooth quartz slabs just like right in the corner, extending towards like the inside of the house, and then I'm going to have oak planks. Actually, yeah, that doesn't work out, so I'll tell you what. So we're going to just move that slightly. So we're going to have the row of oak planks along the bottom here, 2 smooth quartz slabs, and then oak planks extending towards inside the house. I'm going to have a vertical row of smooth quartz that extends from the edge of the pool here and then upwards like this. And then I want to be able to dig, I want to dig behind, oh lovely water. I always love it when there's water and stuff hidden in the house already. It actually makes our job a little bit easier, I guess. We have a little bit less water to have to place. But we have to be able to have a set of stairs in here that extends upwards and takes us to the ground level of the pool house. So wherever you want to start those stairs, it's kind of up to you. So if we place like a couple of a couple of quartz blocks here, and then if we make it, let's say that we make it like a 2-block area so that we've got a little bit of walking around space, and then we can have some stairs extending upwards, and it even lines up with this particular row of the pool house, which I appreciate. So here, here, and here, perfect. We're going to place 2 rows of smooth quartz extending backwards, so this is literally going to run like right from the front of the house to the back of the house like this. Got a bit of water on the right, that'll be solved in a second. I don't think that they're source blocks, are they? If they are, we've just taken them out, and then we can just place the stairs back here. So we have this is going to be part of the pool. We have our pathway, we have our stairs leading up and back. So as you might imagine, this middle part, this entire middle part is also part of the pool. But I'm going to dig a row just on the outer part, just on the side of the stairs here, and I'm gonna have a row of grey concrete. The grey concrete is just going to sit just next to the stairs here, and it's just going to act as a wall. So this is kind of like the edge of the pool here, and well, where's the blocks? So those, I thought that we got rid of that. I thought that we placed some solid quartz, and then that was that. So here. Okay, perfect. There we go. I thought that the quartz would have destroyed it earlier, but I guess not. So we have the stairs just like this. We have a wall to the pool, and then this entire middle part is also a pool as well. At the top, the pool is only 1 row deep. So I should have said that actually. I think I said it in reverse earlier. So I'm just going to dig out just 1 row. First of all, just 1 row of the top of the build. Just up at the top of the build here. So I'm just going to dig out 1 row just inside, and then we have to kind of like figure out where we want the pool to start getting like more but like deeper and deeper. So we might not even want this layer of glass that we have here. You can like knock her off the bottom, and then if you imagine that this is going to be filled with water, we'll be able to get underneath it anyway. If you want a bridge that takes you from one side of the pool back into the regular part of the house, I'd recommend having it here where we have this first beam of quartz. So that means that we at the very least need to have the pool start being more shallow at this part, because if you can imagine that we've got a small bridge that is going to lead us into the opposite part of the house, we have to duck down an additional row so that we can get underneath it if this is the pool. So let's make the base of the pool a different material altogether. Let's make it a glazed terracotta. That way it's pretty hard to or pretty easy to distinguish rather from the pool and the rest of the area. So just working on the inside part, the pool at the top here is 1 row deep. So this is where the glazed terracotta is. I wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of the smooth quartz, but let's say that just here where the glass is, we have a 1 row deep pool. So we're going to place our glazed terracotta here, and it's going to extend forwards until we get to the bridge. So the bridge here, this is where it has to get deeper, right? So you have to drop 1 level below, so just 1 row before the bridge. That's where it gets deeper, and we can place our glazed terracotta, just like so. And then it's kind of up to you how you want to increment it. So let's say that we've got 4 rows here, so maybe we have like 4 rows of the next depth of the pool, and then we drop it down another level, something like that, right? Or you could just have like a waterfall effect. So, but we'll stick to what I just said. We'll have 4 rows of the pool. I think that this works out, and then we drop it down another level, and then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys get the idea. 1, 2, 3, 4 until we get to the next part, and then we can drop it down another level. I don't know if this does work out actually, because we're already at like it's kind of like an odd number, but I guess it doesn't even matter because the 4th row is going to be even with the outer part. It's just whether it gets deep enough. So like here we've got like, hang on, fighting against the current. So 1, 2, and then the 4th row is going to be 3, 4. That's perfect. And then yeah, actually that actually worked perfectly. That's how I must have done it originally. So this 4th row is going to be just the right depth really for the end of the pool. Well, I mean, it could actually stand to be one row higher, but I mean, it's a pretty good depth. It's a little bit lower than some pools. So here we want to place the quartz underneath like where the slabs are. We want to place oak planks underneath where the oak planks are. And we just want to have something which should look like this. Now, we're going to clean this up with water buckets a little bit later, but we also want to replace underneath all of the grey concrete area as well. Like, all this wants to be replaced. This wants to be grey concrete, really. Like, the interior wall that we placed on the opposite side of the pool to the side that we're placing this one, that's all grey concrete. This wants to be grey concrete too. We want it to match, so this all has to be taken out. Honestly, I'd be doing myself a favour right now if I sponged out all this water, but I just don't feel like swapping materials. I wish that it seems as though that there's more than one source block. I might be wrong about that, so they're more than likely, so I don't want to just like play grey concrete roulette and try and like extinguish it. If you can even say that about water. Expunge it, perhaps. Just with the grey concrete, a sponge would be a lot more effective. But we've fought past that. And we've got grey concrete to the left of us, grey concrete to the right. And we've got some glazed terracotta in the middle. That's looking pretty good. Yes, this is looking really nice now. And then the idea, of course, if it wasn't completely obvious, hopefully it was a little bit. So we can now walk onto the opposite part of the house. Boom, we've got the doors there. It's just like a cool way to get to and fro the house. We still keep the pool. It's just like a nice little part of the house. Underneath the windows and underneath this entire left wall area, all this is going to be grey concrete. So again, kind of keeping with the theme, white and grey concrete is the colour scheme of this house. So that's what we're going to keep it. So that involves like next to the doors, we want to place the grey concrete like this. We want to place it here. It wants to look nice and finished and polished. We've got a few things to do actually. I thought that we were nearing the end of the house, but we've got an exterior wall to add. We've got to place a little bit of oak slabs around the edge of the pool here just to make it higher. Just on top of the oak planks, we just add the slabs. Why don't we make it so we'll get rid of the doors and we'll grab the water buckets, and we'll also make this a lot better in a second as well. But where else? Oh, underneath these windows, we're going to add some grey concrete too. We'll add the outer boundary for the garden. I don't want to tell you how to make the garden because you might have your very own plans for that, but I'll add the boundary for what my garden would look like, and then you can kind of like copy it if you like. So, how far back does this want to go? Maybe it's best that we actually make the boundary for the back garden now, and then that kind of helps us. So, I'm going to place a row on the opposite side, from the right side of this back entrance here. I'm going to place a row of 7 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm then going to extend it left by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is where a doorway is going to be. You can even mark it out using... Why must I always get rid of the quartz? It's one of the most important materials. You can mark it out using quartz if you like. So this is kind of like this area separate from this area. We're going to then take the grey concrete here that we just placed, and we're going to extend it backwards by 1, 2, 3. This takes us to the outer boundary of the house, and then we're going to extend the grey concrete across the back of the house by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then it's actually going to get extended all the way forwards onto the outer part of the grid, so it's nice and easy peasy like this. So we'll flare that last block upwards by 1 using grey concrete, and then we're going to use stairs. So the bottom grey concrete, not the top one, we want to use 2 upside down stairs. 1, 2, grey concrete. 2 upside down stairs. 1, 2, grey concrete. 2 upside down stairs. 1, 2, grey concrete like this. And then we can even add another one, but I actually quite like it. It looks quite nice and open like this, so I might leave it. But originally the wall came to here, but actually it looks quite nice being open. I mean, you could even open it a little bit more if you wanted to. I might try that and see how it looks. I'll try it a little bit more later, but we extend these grey concretes upwards. We place a little bit of glass in between. The right side of the house, we actually use hedge. So we use jungle leaves I use for this. On top of the grey concrete, just sat on the back here. We'll make this corner block into a grey concrete. We'll extend this across, and we'll turn this corner block also into a grey concrete. We might even have a solid wall here, so like this turns into a solid wall. Perhaps we can keep it like that, and then across the back of the build here, maybe just like a row of glass pane, and then we can kind of like leave this open, so we kind of have like a bit of a different fencing situation, like going all the way around. I really like that. And then if in your mind you can imagine like this house is entirely connected, so you can walk around the entire perimeter of the house even though a bit of it's walled in. Like these two quartz blocks actually extend towards the like edge of the patio area, and then they extend all the way to the side of the house like this, right? And it's just one row's gap that extends forwards pretty much, but like it comes all the way to the front of the house here, and then I think all of this, or the majority of this, is all going to be quartzed. Is that the proper wording? It's going to be quartzed, but like from the main entrance, this is all going to be quartz. I'm thinking about leaving this area just green here. So I know it's white concrete at the moment, but these two outer rows will certainly be, I think, quartzed. Again, I think I'm using that as a verb. I think that's a verb, right? A doing word. It's been quartzed. This outer row is definitely going to be, but the entire point of me showing you this is to show you that everything's sort of like connected together, so probably a little bit redundant. I probably didn't have to add some quartz, but I like, but just to show you how it all kind of like does go together. So like the quartz path basically takes you all the way around the house. You can see it takes you through the pool house, it takes you to the main entrance, it takes you to the right side, it takes you into the second story of the house, the only way that I've designed it to get up there. It takes you all the way around the back of the house, and ultimately it then takes you to the patio, but it also takes you to the back of the pool house, and then it takes you in turn into the pool house, which then takes you back to the front of the house, so on and so forth. You guys get the idea, right? So we're going to have a couple of rows of quartz block just along the back wall here, so again, kind of like keeping in with the theme, so like two rows of quartz just like this, here and here, extending through. We want to have grey concrete underneath these windows as well, and then this is a pool. So if you want to keep in continuity with the front of the house, you'll have a couple of rows of, or just one row actually, of oak slabs, and then underneath said oak slabs we're going to have oak planks just like this. And then we would have, let's steal some light grey glazed terracotta, and then this is going to be the base of the pool. I think I am placing it a different way. It doesn't matter though. And then we have the water coming from here. But I have a feeling it's going to be a lot cleaner if I just sponge this out first. I don't know if it will make... Because if you guys have ever experimented with water, I'm kind of getting ahead in my thought patterns here. If you've ever experimented with water, like, there's a difference between adding water to pre-existing water, and there's a difference to adding water, just water from like the top here. Like, it behaves so differently. So like if we completely smooth and flatten out this water here, just up at the top of the build, we're probably just going to have to keep adding it and adding it. It's not going to go far enough. Or, I mean, we do kind of have it does work. And then we could just like fill the bottom of this in. So almost as if we've got kind of like a lazy river, which I kind of like. That's not bad. I quite like the lazy river idea, but you could make it one row higher if you wanted to. But yeah, you guys know how it is. So like we have this like cool smooth water here, and then if we add water, like it changes the shape of it. And even if we get rid of the source block, sometimes see what I mean? Sometimes like it does weird things to the water. So sometimes it's better just to start afresh. If you want to get back out of the pool from here, I mean, we could just add like a little, like this side here, maybe this is how you get in and out. That's not a bad idea. The top of this has to be, yeah, because this pool house is actually done, right? I mean, that looks I really like it, by the way. Like, that's why I've shown you how to make this, because it's such a cool feature of the house that, in my opinion, I think it's cool. That I wanted to show you how to make it, because it's like, this is, to me, like, this is the really coolest part of the house. I really love the pool house. Bueno. Muchos bueno. I think that... do those words go together? I don't know the language, but it sounds right. Muchos buenos. I'm so gonna get yelled at in the comments for that. I only know English. Anyway, so that looks great. I know the bueno means good or great or something, right? But anyway, that looks really good. I like that. That's the pool house completed. We have a path that goes all the way around the outside. We don't have to fill the back of this in because this is just going to be your imagination. We don't have to fill these sides in because, again, this is all imagination. This is what you want to put where. I'd recommend adding a little bit of leaf to the front of this area here because it adds like a nice little contrast against the quartz. You could even do a little bit of something up top here. You could even add some leaves like to the side here if you kind of like wanted to box it in, or you could add something different. You could add something to the oak plank area here, although it's actually quite an interesting thing to look at regardless, so you probably don't have to add anything to kind of like break the eye away. The top of this, I'm going to just fill it in with straight up grey concrete, but you might feel as though that later on you might want to add skylights to the top of this, a skylight being glass. So that's all I mean by skylight. Just you might want to add like glass ceiling in certain places, but that's going to be up to you as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we've pretty much made the house, like, we've made the coolest part of the house, the pool. We've made the poolest part of the house as well. They're the same thing, the coolest and the poolest part of the house. So we have the roof filled in, and we've got the sides taken care of. I think it is literally just a case now of however you want to fill the inside of the house in and however you want to like decorate the outside of the house. That is going to be up to you because we have completely finished the framework of the house, and I think that looks really, really cool. So it's pretty much ready for you to move in. However, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a nice guy. I have designed an interior for this house. I'm going to show it you right now just in case you want a little bit of inspiration or just some ideas, or maybe you just want to see what I've came up with. It's not the best looking interior that has ever been made, but it might give you an idea of how to space out the house and maybe like how to just place some rooms around the house and where you might want things. So I'll be back in a second and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. But the step-by-step part of this tutorial is over. Here we are at the decorated version of the house, and honestly, I don't quite know where to start. Maybe we'll start with the front door. I don't think that we can go too far wrong. So as we enter the main entrance to the house, you'll notice that we have the pool directly to the left of us. We can jump in it and we can have a nice little swim down. To the right of us, we have a kitchen slash dining area, which is quite nice. We've got like a dining room table, we've got a washing machine, we've got an island, we've got a dishwasher and taps and cupboards and fridges and all that sort of fun stuff. Anything that you might expect to find in a kitchen. We also have a little living room just at the front of the house. We have a TV, we have a little coffee table, we have a lamp, and we have a nice sofa, all wonderfully decorated and color coordinated. As we head towards the side of the house, so obviously this is the inside of the pool house, and there's a couple of different things with this. So we've got a couple of lounging areas that we can kind of like chill out inside the pool. We can jump in the pool, and the reason that I'm jumping in the pool is if we flow all the way down to the bottom of our pool and we enter the house via the kind of like pool house entrance, you'll notice that we kind of have like this sneaky underground bar area here, which is really, really cool, where we have like a little jukebox and a table and we have some barrels. I'll let you guess what's in there, and it's just like really cool part of the house. And why don't we head out the back now as well? So heading out the back, we have this is like the end of the pool, so this is what, or the start, I guess it depends how you look at it really. This is like where the pool starts, and we can like float down the lazy river. We've got a nice little place to chill out, a couple of sunbeds. We have access to the back garden where we have like a chest, a composter. We have like this nice little rock garden, and we have this little pool here with a couple of salmon in it. I do believe that they're salmon. We have a little garden shed, and of course that leads all the way to the front of the house. But we have our patio area, and inside the patio we've kind of got like this nice little hot tub. We've got a barbecue area. We've got like a nice little seating area here, and this leads back into the actual main house. So the only part left that I really have to show you is the second story. So the second story, the only way to get to it, the way that I've designed it is, it's just this outside area where we have all these stairs. So leading inside here, we've kind of got this weird bedroom. Honestly, we've got like a dressing table, a couple of indoor plants, we've got like a really weird bed, we've got a TV hanging from the ceiling, we've got possibly the ugliest wardrobes that I've ever seen in my life. We've got a bookcase kind of like built in, we've got a little bathroom and ensuite, but it's also the only bathroom in the house, where we have a bath, a toilet, we've kind of got like a little sink, and this ultimately leads out onto this cozy little balcony back here where we just have this little seating area with a couple of pictures on the wall, or maybe that's a flat screen television. And that's a house, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, hopefully that gives you a little bit of inspiration from layout or maybe even decoration. Hopefully you get something from it, because it was really fun to actually decorate this when I did do it. So that's it. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, check out the card system description below and the top of the comment section for more. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.